What's going on, guys? Aaron Goldsten here. So in this video, we're going to talk about Amazon dropshipping suppliers and the best ones to use. And before I share the best ones to use, I need to go over the 5 mistakes newbies make when choosing a dropshipper that gives them a lot of headaches and can cost them thousands and thousands of dollars. And what I'm going to recommend is I'm going to share with you the 2 dropshippers that I use currently to this day that I've had a ton of success with. But before I share these with you, I need to go over these 5 mistakes with you. So if you're thinking about choosing a different supplier, you can run this check and make sure that the supplier meets each of these criteria. If any of the suppliers that you're thinking about dropshipping from doesn't meet all 5 of this criteria, even if they just meet like 4 out of the 5, you want to avoid them at all costs. And I'm going to explain that in this video. As a lot of you guys know, I do over $1 million a year dropshipping on Amazon. If we go to my seller account, and you see we could refresh it, see I'm at over $2,000 in sales for the day, over $185,000 in sales in the last 30 days. I do this full time. I spend about 45 minutes a day managing my dropshipping business. And I've been doing this full time now for almost a year now. It's been almost about a year. So because of that, I'm pretty qualified to explain this to you. But let's go ahead and dive into this. So the first mistake newbies make. So let's talk about how this is going to work. A supplier is basically just a company. So we need to find a company that we can dropship from. A company that we can place orders with that's going to ship the orders right from their warehouse to the customer. So let's say that you find a website and you're like, this looks like a good website to dropship products from. And you start listing a bunch of products on your Amazon store. And you do a bunch of research and you get a bunch of listings up and you spend a lot of time and energy. And then lo and behold, you start selling items. You're like, this is great. I'm making money. I'm not running into issues. I'm not running into any problems. But then one of these 5 mistakes happen. The first 5 mistakes is some companies, if you start ordering too much from them, they will start canceling orders. So maybe you're drop shipping 1 or 2 items a day from them and there's no problem. Maybe you even ramp it up to 3, 4, 5 items a day, no problem. But then you start getting 8, 10, 20, 30, 40 orders a day. There's a lot of companies out there that will cancel the orders if you start drop shipping too many items. A lot of times these companies will actually let you place the order with them. They'll tell you the order went through, but then you'll get an email 24 to 48 hours later that says, hey, we're sorry, but after looking at your account, we had to cancel the order. So now you got dozens and dozens, maybe even hundreds of people on your Amazon store that are expecting their item, but you can't get any of the items placed with your supplier drop shipped. That's a big problem. The second part is multiple same products. So some companies will let you place bulk orders. You can do 20, 30, 40 items a day, no problem. But some companies have limits on the products. So maybe you got a couch and you're drop shipping it and you start selling 10 couches a day. Well, this is great. Look at all this money rolling in. But you realize that your supplier is canceling most of the orders for the couches. And you contact them and they say, oh yeah, we have a rule where you can only order 1 couch every 168 hours. That's basically 7 days. So you can only order 1 couch a day from us, or 1 couch a week from us. That's our rule. Or maybe it's 2 couches a week. Well, again, you're going to run into a bunch of problems. The second thing is different addresses. There's some companies out there that if you start shipping items, you make an account with them, and you start shipping items to different addresses, it's going to be a red flag. They don't like drop shippers. They know that that's basically what you're doing is drop shipping, and they will either suspend your account or they just won't let you place any orders or the orders won't go through. Now, the final 2 things has to do with returns. So the first 3 things, just as a recap, is we want to make sure we can place bulk orders with the supplier without problem. We want to make sure we can place multiple orders of the same product without problem. And we want to be able to make sure we can use different addresses, because we're going to be shipping them to different customers, without problem. The next 2 things have to deal with returns. So let's say you sold a bunch of these couches. And what happens is the customer asks to do a return. And it's been 7 weeks since the customer bought the item from you. 7 weeks since the customer bought the item. And they ask to do a return on your Amazon store. And you say, no problem. I'm going to go to my supplier. I'm going to get a return label. I'm going to send it to the customer. The customer will ship it back to my supplier. My supplier will refund me. I'll refund the customer. And everything will be perfect in the world. So you go to your supplier, say, hey, I need a refund. I'm not happy with the product. I want to return it. And the supplier says, oh, you bought the item from us 7 weeks ago. We have a 14-day return policy. Sorry, you can't return the item anymore. Well, Amazon says, listen, it's within our return window. You have to take it back. We don't care what you say. You have to take it back. So now what are you going to do? You're going to get the item shipped to your house. You're going to try to sell it on Craigslist for half the price. I mean, you're spending a lot of time now. You're losing money. It's a big ordeal. So it's important to make sure that the supplier, their return window is long enough to match Amazon's. Amazon typically has a 30-day return window. However, beware that over holidays, like something like December, a lot of times they'll extend it for a couple months. And sometimes just because it's a 30-day return window, I've had times where a customer will request a return and it's like out of the 30 days, it's like a month and a half. And they'll still sometimes get Amazon to basically approve it, essentially. So you need to make sure that the supplier you're shipping from, their return window is long enough to match Amazon's. The second thing is who pays for return shipping? Do you pay for it? On Amazon, the customer does not pay for return shipping. This is not like eBay. I know eBay, you can make the customer pay for return shipping. Amazon, we pay for return shipping. We pay for return shipping. That's like how it works. That's how it's set up on Amazon. We have to pay for return shipping. So what if you have a supplier that meets everything and you say, oh, you know what? I'll just get a return label. And you contact the supplier and they say, oh, yeah, that's fine. We'll send you a return label. It's $35. The item's kind of heavy. We're going to ship it back priority mail. You are going to have to pay $35 to get the item shipped back to them. You can lose a lot of money because the dropshipping profit's not that high. So you need to make sure that that when dealing with returns, that I recommend finding a supplier that pays for returns. The 2 suppliers that I use, they meet all this criteria. You can do it. You can order hundreds of items a day from them. For most part, you can order multiple of the same item, lots and lots of the same item without any issue. You can ship to all sorts of addresses. They don't care. Their return window is multiple months, so you're not running into any problems. And they pay for the return every step of the way. Not only do they pay for the return of the product, sometimes they'll set it up where like FedEx or UPS will actually go to the customer's house to pick up the product. So let's say like the customer ordered a couch, it's going to be kind of hard and inconvenient for the customer to take a 3-person couch and drop it off at FedEx. A lot of times the suppliers I use will set it up for a FedEx truck to come right to the customer's house, grab the couch right from the customer. Then they'll put it in the truck, ship it back to the supplier. The supplier will refund me. I'll refund the customer, and all is right in the world. The 2 suppliers that I use are Home Depot and Walmart. Those are the 2 that I use, Home Depot and Walmart. That's who I dropship from. I've been using them successfully for a long time, and I haven't had any issues. They meet all the criteria. Everything's been perfect with them. I'm not saying there's not other ones out there, but if you're thinking about looking into other ones, you want to make sure that they meet each of those 5 checkpoints, and they can't have any missing. But I use Walmart and Home Depot. That's what's been working out so far for me. My name's Aaron Goldsten. If you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe. And if you want to learn more, there's more information in the description of this video.